video. So I am doing another Netflix what I've been watching video. I've done many of these. I have a series. I'm actually going to make a playlist that I keep trying to remind myself, but before you watch this video, the playlist should be there, and I'll link it down below to all of my Netflix videos that I've made over the last couple years. And I started this series with doing like wine and Netflix. That's what I would call every single video. But last time I did it, I didn't have wine. I did it with beer. And that got me thinking, before we get started, this is just like a quick thing I want your opinion on. I'm thinking of doing it like every time I make a Netflix what I've been watching video, doing it with a different drink so that it could be like a little, like spice up the series a little bit. So last month I did beer. As you can tell from the thumbnail, I'm doing a White Claw today because I didn't have an open bottle of wine, and I have so many seltzers from when my friends came over last weekend. There's so much left over and no one took it home, so our fridge in the basement literally looks like it belongs in a frat house. So I was like, you know what, let me just do something different. So what do you guys think about that? Should I do, you know, a different drink every Netflix video? Will that be interesting? Do you not care? I think it would be kind of interesting, and it would give me an excuse to like try new things once I finish everything that I have downstairs. So let me know what you think about that, and if yes, what should I then call the series, because I can't call it Wine and Netflix anymore. So I'll be thinking, but please help me and give me your ideas down below. I swear you guys are more creative than I am most of the time, so yeah, let me know what you think I should call the series. I don't know. Okay, anyway, moving on. So in case you've never seen one of these videos from me, I am basically going to go through all of the shows and movies, some movies that I have watched lately. And I do call it Netflix, but I go through Netflix mostly, Amazon Prime, and Hulu as well. There's like one show from Hulu this time around, and one from Amazon. I think the rest is Netflix. So shout out to my Aunt Jackie for allowing me to use her Hulu account. Alright, so let's open this baby up. This is the ruby grapefruit flavor. So here we go. A little bit of fizzies. I like almost dropped it before I started filming this, so I was like, oh my god, the bubble's gonna go crazy, but we're good. Alright. The grapefruit is probably my favorite White Claw that I've tried so far. Super good. Refreshing. I probably shouldn't admit that it's not even lunchtime yet. But here we are, regardless. Okay, so let me switch hands. And let me go to my notes. So, lately, I've been, like this time around, every time I watch something, I would write it in my notes. I have a list here that we will get into. Doesn't want to focus on the phone. Okay. Because before I would like watch everything, and then before I went to film the video, I would try to remember everything, and that's too much work. So I did it the responsible way this time. Okay. So the first one is Amazon Prime, and it is a show called Upload. I think it is strictly on Amazon original, and it stars about it. And basically, it's like, it's set in the future. It's a futuristic kind of storyline where basically when you die, you go to this other reality where you can still interact with your loved ones. Like, they can still see you. Like, you can like video chat with them in like this afterlife, so you're very much still alive. And basically, like, you know how sometimes when a senior citizen gets too old to be cared for at home, so you pay for them to go live in a nursing home, it's like that. You pay for your loved one to go to the nicest, you know, afterlife resort, you know, where it's literally like a resort. They're cooked for, they can do whatever they want, you know. So anyway, Robbie's character dies in a car crash, and he is uploaded to this other reality where he lives his afterlife. And there is this girl, I forgot her name, her character's name, but basically her job in the real world is she's an angel. She's called an angel, and she gets assigned to different people who have lost their lives. So she gets assigned to Robbie's character, and she has to care for him while he's in his afterlife. And they fall in love, but then, you know, it's hard because he's dead and she's not, and it's very, obviously very unrealistic. That goes without saying. But it was done in a nice way. It wasn't like overly cheesy. The episodes are short. I think they're a half hour, maybe a little less. So you go through it really fast. There's only one season, but they just got picked up for a second season. Well, not just. I think like right as the first season came out, they got picked up for a second one. So I'm super excited for that, you know, whenever actors are able to start filming again. So I'm excited for that. I would recommend it. I think it's really good, really well done. Okay, the next one is Netflix. I still can't believe I watched this. I really can't. But I loved like Love is Blind and all of Netflix's like game shows. They always surprise me. So I was like, you know what? Let me just watch it. So this one was Too Hot to Handle. That's what it was called. And basically, it was really hard to get through at first. The first couple episodes, I almost stopped watching it many times. But then it gets better. So they pick a group of, I don't know, let's just say 10 young people who are very attractive and who think that they are the best things on the planet. They literally say, like, yeah, we're the hottest people on earth, like, blah, blah, like that kind of thing. And at a couple points, as they were like describing themselves, I got like turned off. I was like, this is getting me sick to my stomach. Like, I can't even watch this. It was just so, like, the egos were just like, ugh. But basically, the premise of the game show is they lock these very good looking people in a house. Well, not lock them, they have a pool and a beach and whatever. They go on a little vacation basically. But they can't do anything like sexually with each other. They can't kiss, they can't, you know, nothing, like nothing. I mean, you get attractive people in a house, you know, it's gonna happen, I guess. So, at least that's what the creators of the show were banking on. So, they allow them to go to the house the first 24 hours. They all meet each other. You know, this one starts to pair off with this one starts to pair off with this one. They maybe kiss a little bit, whatever. The next day, the host of the show or whatever, no, it's not even a real person, it's like the Alexa, like a voice like that. They lay down the rules and they're like, so you can't do anything. And basically they're given a large sum of money. I want to say it's like 100 grand or something that they would have to split amongst themselves. And every time they do something sexual get to know each other, you know, that kind of thing. I don't know, they just grow on you, like any show, you know. The characters just grow on you, and you get to know them more, and you see them maturing, and they do like exercises with them. So it's supposed to be like a learning experience for them. So yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised that I actually watched that whole show. But like halfway through, you start to start rooting for them, and you're like, you can do it. So I did watch the whole thing, and yeah, it was pretty good. Okay, the next one is a Netflix original. It's called Sweet Magnolias. I have no idea when it was put on Netflix. It was on Netflix's like popular this week, and I think it was in the top 10. So that's how I saw it. And I usually watch what's on there because Netflix never seems to steer me wrong. So it was like a Sweet Magnolias is like a drama, like a family drama. And it follows 3 best friends, and one of them kind of like I would say she's the main one. Her husband cheats on her, and she's going through a divorce, and that's when the show starts. And it's just like the 3 friends navigating through life, and they have these like margarita nights once a week where they go to each other's houses and drink margaritas and catch each other up on their lives, what's going on, and they give each other advice. And I texted my friends about it, and I was like, we better do that when we're adults with children. Like, I want that once a week. So I mean, there's a lot of different storylines that I would have to go into to describe the whole show, but it's just it touches on like family drama, friend drama. The mom who was getting the divorce, she falls in love with her son's baseball coach, like that kind of thing. Jamie Lynn Spears is the other woman. She's in it. She becomes pregnant. And the main woman that I was talking about, I don't know her real name, but she was on Reba. She was the wife of Reba's. No, she was Reba's daughter. If any of you know the show Reba, I don't know her name, but that's who it is. So, although it is like filled with drama, though, it's a feel-good show. I would say like it's pretty lighthearted, and it has funny parts. It has emotional parts. So if you're into that kind of thing, I think you would like it. I watched the whole thing, and then like a week later, my mom came to me and was like, "Oh, I started watching this show. It's really good," and it turned out to be that show. So she liked it too. So that is called Sweet Magnolias. It should still be on Netflix. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Going through this a little faster than I expected. The next one I'm still watching. I'm watching Quantico. It's an ABC show. I remember when it was actually airing on TV, because I used to watch Dancing with the Stars all the time, which is also on ABC, so I would see like commercials for it all the time. I started watching it because it came up on my Netflix, and for those of you who know, like, the Jonas Brothers and I go way back. Nick has been my favorite since I was like 11 or 12. So his wife, Priyanka Chopra, she's the lead of the show, and I was like, you know what, I want to see, like, I had never seen her act before, so I was curious, so I put it on, and I loved the first episode. So the first season is mainly about these FBI trainees who are at Quantico. That's like the name of their training school, and they go through FBI training, but there's like a mystery that they introduce you to at the start of the season, and you don't really fully understand it until the end. It's really good. It's really well written. Priyanka, listen, I hate that she's married to my husband, but she can act. Like, I was actually actually very, not that I didn't think she could, but I don't know, I had never seen her do anything, so I didn't know, and I was pleasantly surprised. She's actually really good in that show. There are 4 seasons. I'm on season 3. I did take a little break from watching it, not because it was bad, just because I don't know, I just needed a break. Other things caught my attention. I don't know, but I like sat down the other day and watched it for like 2 or 3 hours, and now I'm like hooked again, and I'm watching it all the time. I watch it a lot when I work out, like when I'm on the treadmill, because it's a lot of like action sequences and like fighting, and like the music is good, so I don't know, just I feel like it makes me like work out better. I don't know. But yeah, so the other seasons 2 and 3 are now like they're agents now, and it follows, you know, all the crimes that they try to, you know, work on and all that. So it's really good. I actually really like it. So if you're into like action and also drama, and there's a little bit of romance, of course, and you know, if you're into that, I think you would like it. It's on Netflix. It's really good. The next one, I think I talk about this one in every single Netflix video I make, but that's because there's always new seasons, and that's 13 Reasons Why. So I watched the 4th and final season of 13 Reasons Why. I watched it probably like a month ago. 13 episodes like normal. It did take me a little while to get through, but this season was probably my favorite. My least favorite season was season 2, I think. But season 4, amazing. It takes a little while to get started. I don't want to say anything because anything I say is gonna spoil it. If you've seen it or seen at least the first 3 seasons, you know what I'm talking about. But the first couple of episodes did take me a while to like get back into it. I feel like that happens to me at the start of every season. I have to like really get back into it. But like midway through, yeah, it gets you. I don't know if it was the last episode or the second to last episode, where like a big thing happens. I'm not gonna say what it is, but I cried like a baby, like a newborn baby. I cried, and it's just because the thing that happens just like comes out of nowhere, and you just like, I was not expecting it. If any of you have like seen it, don't write it in the comments, you know, if you know what I'm talking about, because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But man, yeah, I think this was by far, that's the mail truck. I guess we just got our mail. Sorry about that. Yeah, the 4th season, by far my favorite season. And it was the last one, so I'm glad it ended on a good note. And I watched a couple videos on YouTube of like the cast doing their final read through, and they're all like hugging and crying, and I like got emotional watching it too, because I really love them as a cast together, and you can see like how close they've all gotten, and they've touched on really, really important subjects, you know, for anybody, but especially young people. And I don't know, I know there are some people that have issues with the way that they've portrayed certain things, and you know what, no one's perfect, but at least they brought attention to certain issues, you know. So I have respect for them, and I'm really glad that the show ended on such a good note. Well, not like everything was a good note, but you know what I mean, like it ended in a way that you could sit back and be like, wow, that was an amazing season. So, and I was the first one out of my friends to finish it, and so I couldn't say anything because the big thing happens at the end. And I was like, are you finished yet? Are you finished yet? And it took them forever, but they cried as well. So, at least it wasn't just me. Okay. The next one is a movie that I watched on Netflix, and it's called Before I Fall. I feel like I had seen it movies that have been done with the same storyline. Basically, this girl, I don't remember, see, I watched this a while ago. Here, let me look at the description. I brought it up because I knew I was going to forget. The description to this movie says, forced to continually relive the day, okay, the day she dies in a car crash, a privileged high schooler must unravel the cosmic mystery of her suddenly looping life. So this girl dies in a crash with her friends, and at the same time as that crash happens, at the same time that she dies, every day at that time, her day starts over again, the day that she died. And, you know, as she relives the day over and over and over again, she sees so many things that were wrong with what she was doing, and the way that she was acting, and the way that she was treating people. And so she basically, she relives every day, and so she learns that lesson, basically, which, right, I feel like that's been done in a few movies at this point. I can't remember any of the names, but it's been done. So, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say it was fantastic. If y'all don't watch it, you know, I'm not gonna say it's a must-see. It's, let me see who's in it, because I know this girl, I just don't know her name. Zoe, I don't know how to say this. 𝓢𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪, DEUTCH. I don't know. Halston Sage and Erica Tremblay are two other names. So it's from 2017. It's an hour and a half, and it's rated PG-13. Oh, and then I do remember, there's like a guy who she ends up with in the end, who at the beginning of the movie, when, you know, she was hanging with the wrong people and doing the wrong things, she treated him like crap. And then throughout the movie, as she relives the same day over and over again, she like falls for him and whatever, and she like sees how he's actually someone that she should be around rather than, you know, the people before. So she is aware that she's reliving the same day every day, which allows her to learn how to not take things and people for granted. And she, at the end of the movie, she realizes what caused the crash that took her life, and she learns what to do to prevent that from happening, and then that's how the cycle breaks. So she learns valuable lessons, and she learns how to, you know, treat people properly and all that. So it does have a good lesson to it. I don't know, I just think that there are so many movies where, you know, people relive the same day over and over again. So that was my throat, if you heard that. Ew. The next one is Hulu. I think this is the only, oh no, there's another Hulu one. But this one is called Love, Victor. I was watching YouTube one day, and the trailer for the show came up on whatever video I was watching, and I watched the whole trailer, and then that's how I was like, oh, I want to watch that. So it follows this, I think he's 16-year-old boy, and he grows up in a Spanish family, very like set in their ways, you know, men should be like macho and, you know, whatever. And he basically, the whole storyline is that Victor, the boy, is gay, but he hasn't come to terms with it yet. So he like starts dating a girl. He hides it from his family, that whole thing. But then he makes friends with this one guy who then introduces him to a group of people who, you know, he feels comfortable coming out to eventually, and that he feels comfortable with, and they eventually help him be okay with who he is, and like, you know, coming out to the people in his life who he really cares about. And I just have to say, like, I was watching it, and I don't mean this in a creepy way at all. But the kid who plays Victor is like the most beautiful little boy. Well, he's not a little boy. I think he's like, because I looked him up because I wanted to see what else he had been in. He's like 20 years old, so he's not a little boy, but he looks very young. He's beautiful. Like, I'm not saying he's like hot or like attractive, but he's like so pretty. Like, I don't know, you have to look it up. Like, he's so pretty. I remember like watching the show and I'm like, oh my god, like his face is just like perfectly like sculpted. I don't know. I think when he becomes like a man, like when he's like in his late 20s, yeah, he's gonna be quite the model. I don't know his name. I don't think he's acted in many things. But I enjoyed the show. It's only one season. I don't think it didn't really leave room for a second season. I don't know. I really haven't looked it up. Maybe there is a second season coming. I don't know. But I fell in love with the actor, and you know, as the show goes on, you end up really like rooting for him and wanting him to be happy. And the family has their own little family drama going on, and he has a sister who's a teenager as well, so of course there's drama there and all that. So I really enjoyed it. So that's on Hulu. It's called Love, Victor. Also on Hulu, this I started watching on a whim. There's only one season and it's a very short season. I think there's like 5 or 6 episodes. It's called Welcome to Platteville. And basically it's about this family. I think they're called the Plath family, hence the Platteville. And there are, I want to say 6 kids, maybe 7, and a mom and a dad. And these kids are it's a reality show, by the way, it's a reality show. These kids are so sheltered. Like, they don't really have phones, they don't have access to the internet, they're homeschooled, they don't have many friends, they work on their farm, and their parents basically are sheltering them from the world. And like, I get it, this world has a lot of gross and evil things in it. I get it. I work in news. Trust me, I get it. But you cannot, in my opinion, and I get I'm not a parent, but you cannot shelter your kids that much, because what's gonna happen is they're gonna get older and they're gonna realize that there's more to this world, and they're gonna go crazy. Like, they're gonna go crazy because now that they're older and they can do whatever they want, they're gonna go nuts. And the two oldest siblings are like older, and they just got married, and they married people who are not as sheltered, so they're not exposed to alcohol, they're not exposed to anything. And so I think he was the oldest son, his wife started to introduce him to rum and cokes and wine, and he was loving it, you know. But his parents, on the other hand, resented the wife because she was exposing him to all these things. He's in his 20s, like, he's an adult, and they still just made her feel so like unwelcomed. And it just like it drove me crazy, and I felt bad for the kids. And as they start to get older, you know, and they see their older siblings getting married and doing new things, of course they're gonna want it too, and they want to travel and they want to experience the world. And it's not like juicy or anything. Like, again, it's a reality show. It's like one of those shows. Oh, Ernest is gonna start cutting the grass. Alright, we will lower the gain a little bit. I forgot he was home. Anyway, I'm almost done. This is one of those shows that you would expect to see like on TLC, like one of those reality shows. I thought that the season ended kind of abruptly. Like, it's short, it's like 6 episodes, but I watched the whole thing and I really enjoyed it. And I even like, I got my stalking skills on and I found a lot of the older siblings on Instagram because I wanted to see like what they're doing now. And it seems like they're more like in the world now. I mean, hello, they have social media, so I guess the show kind of like opened doors for them. But and they're this like beautiful little family. They're like blonde hair, blue eyes, like beautiful. So I don't know. Again, I started watching that on a whim. It was so random. On like one of my days off where I was like, I want to stay in bed today and watch Netflix, and that's what I did. But I ended up on Hulu, and that's what I watched. So that was Welcome to Platteville. The next one is called Desperados. I think this is a Netflix original. This movie made me so mad just because the main character, like, she was meant to be, you know, a brat and ungrateful, and like that's what she was meant to be, but she just like drove me crazy. Oh, 𝓢𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪 from Upload, the first show that I told you guys about, he's in this too. He has a small role, but he's in it. And the girl, the blonde girl from Pitch Perfect, I don't remember her name. I don't know her name. Maybe it's here. I don't know. Let me see. Anna Camp. I don't know. The blonde girl from Pitch Perfect, who was like mean in the beginning. She's in it. And I'm just gonna read you the description of this movie. It's a lot. After drunkenly sending a cringeworthy email, hopeless romantic Wes heads to Mexico with her best friends to erase the note before her new love reads it. So the new love is 𝓢𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪, and basically they meet, and he's attractive and he's rich and everything she thought she was looking for. But it turns out that he's very shallow and whatever. But anyway, so they go out, they become boyfriend, girlfriend, and then he doesn't call her for a couple days after they like sleep together. So she sends him a really nasty email, and it turns out that he was actually in a car accident and he was in a coma for a couple days, and that's why he didn't reach out. So she goes to Mexico where the accident was, where he's in the hospital, and tries to sneak into his room to get his computer and delete the email so he doesn't see it. It's ridiculous. It's a really stupid movie. It is. But it was like, once I started it, I wanted to see how it ended. But I will say, I did not watch this movie in one sitting. I think it took me 3 sittings to watch it, so I don't know if I would recommend it. It's really, I mean, it is kind of like a chick flick. Like, I would watch it with my girlfriends. But like, it would be, I guess, a cute movie for like a wine night with your girls, but I don't know if I would really recommend it completely. I just spilled all down my face. That was cute. Anyway, so the main woman, her name is Nasim Pedrad. I don't know who that is. I've never seen her before. I don't know what else she's been in, but anyway, that was Desperados. So I think there's one more. Oh, last but certainly not least, I just watched Zac Efron's entire docu-series. It's called Down to Earth with Zac Efron. It's 8 episodes, which, I mean, hello, you get to stare at Zac Efron for 8 episodes. That man, have you guys seen that thing on, it's been going around Facebook lately and Instagram. I think I posted it on my Instagram story not that long ago, and it's like, I would just like to thank Zac Efron for, I forgot what it's worded like, but I would like to thank Zac Efron for like keeping up with my tastes the past couple years. When I was 15, High School Musical days, he was my type. When I was 20, he was my type. And now at 23, he's still my type because he's aging and he's growing up. And now he is this, like, he's got muscles, but he's not scrawny. He's like beefy. He's got the beard. He's got the fade. See, Maya heard me talk about friends with around the world. They go to, let me see how many places I can name. They go to France, they go to Costa Rica, Puerto Rico, Iceland, which you guys know I'm dying to go to Iceland. I was supposed to go in January, but now with everything I can't really. But Iceland, Italy, which Italy was my favorite episode. Basically every episode follows them to a different country where they learn something new. So Iceland is all about how they use wind and water and steam to kind of sustain themselves, like sustainable, renewable energy. Italy was all about like how to, like what diet you should be following, what kind of lifestyle you should be following to live a long, healthy, happy life, because Italians do, it's like a statistic, I'm not just making this up, Italians in Italy, not really like Italian Americans, but like if you go to Italy, people live until like their hundreds, like they live long and healthy lives. So that one's talking about that. Costa Rica is talking about all the food, like the vegetables and the fruits that they grow there in their own country, like just everything. Every episode has a lesson about how to better live your life and ways that we can help the planet. And actually, the last episode was filmed, I think it was filmed in 2019. The last episode was being filmed as the wildfires in California were going on last year. And Zac Efron's friend, who he was making the documentary with, his house burned down in California. Like they called him and told him that he had lost his house as he was filming the last episode. And so he was basically just like, everything that I have, like everything that I possess is on my back right now. Like the clothes that he had in his bag, and that was it. He lost his home. It ends with the guy like going back to his house for the first time, and he's like, it looks like he's just like filming it on his phone, like his genuine reaction to showing up at his house, and it's just completely like charred, like there's nothing, it's just all black and burnt. It's so like, oh my god, I felt so bad for him. And he's very into like sustainability and, you know, like taking care of the planet and all that. And so like it was like a mix of him being really sad and him also being very angry with the fact that, you know, of the direction that the world and like nature is heading into. And it just really like the whole show, honestly, the whole series, all 8 episodes, I think it's 8, all 8 episodes really like leave you thinking about certain things. So not only do you get to look at Zac Efron, but you're also, you know, you're learning and learning how to look at things differently. So I don't know, I would recommend it. My battery light is flashing, so let me finish it. That was the last show that I was going to talk about. I can't believe I'm chugging the rest of a White Claw on camera. This just never ceases to amaze me. That's it. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Again, please let me know what you think about me doing a new drink, something different every video, and leave me name suggestions for the series, because I don't know. So I look forward to reading your comments. I hope that you enjoyed. If you have any other show, movie recommendations for me, just leave them down below. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.